What is up, everybody? Bill with Honest Open Permaculture, Hop Farm, and we're going to be harvesting, or actually thinning out, some comfrey out of the food forest. And I wanted to take you along with me as I pull this stuff out. We've got a bunch of it all around. First, we're going to harvest some of the leaves because we're going to let some comfrey tea start to brew. We're going to harvest all the leaves, actually, and mulch them around our garden beds and activate a compost pile I have in the back with some of the leaves as well. So let's get to work. So we're going to take this comfrey, peel it back, just cut it right around the edge, throw it in our bucket. And we're going to go through and chop the heads off of all these comfrey plants. We'll drop some of them in around some of the fruit trees. We're going to take some of them with us to start some comfrey tea, and then we're going to activate a compost pile I started in the back. You probably saw it when I was building the tomato trellises. It's sitting back there behind me. All right, we got a lot more to do, as you can tell. This is a Bocking 14 variety, by the way. Not supposed to be propagated by seed. Well, that's the benefit of the Bocking 14 variety, is it doesn't propagate by seed. It will spread its roots. That's what happened here, is it just starts spreading. As you can tell, there's a line here, there's a line that way. You can tell kind of where the mother plant started and started branching out roots. So I'm not gonna be able to get all this comfrey out of here, which is a good thing. I like comfrey. I use comfrey often. It's a great fertilizer. Considered a dynamic accumulator, which means it accumulates minerals that other plants can't get to, or taproot goes really, really deep in the ground and occupies the space that other plants aren't occupying, and brings up the minerals from deep in the ground, deposits those rich minerals in these leaves and in these pretty purple bell-like flowers, which is also great for beneficials like bees. So comfrey, if you were wondering one plant to plant with your fruit tree, one beneficial plant to plant with your fruit tree, maybe you can't get hold of an autumn olive or a black locust tree or a mimosa tree, comfrey. Find you some comfrey. For me, that's number one. Now, in the fall chop and drop video I did, when I chopped all the comfrey, I took it and I put it all on top of the HWY bed, so it got a nice jolt of minerals throughout the winter. Also, when doing this, comfrey can get a little prickly, especially if it gets older. This is pretty young right here. It can get pretty prickly, so some people might need to wear gloves. My hands are pretty beat up and calloused up, so that's just for the tip for anybody who's never messed with comfrey before and going grabbing it. It may surprise you. Nowhere near as bad as a nettle, a stinging nettle. But as the plant matures, its little hairs start to stiffen up, and that can poke you a little bit, start to irritate you. Y'all stay tuned for the comfrey tea video. We'll be making that very soon. More cleaned out already down here. Tell the difference as we come up here and look at the comfrey. That's a great example right there of what I'm keeping. I just pulled that one straight up, and this right here will turn into, I'm gonna go plant this in the Chinampa area, so it'll have comfrey. Put that aside. But even after you break off the tops, I'm gonna come in with a shovel, but I can probably show you with this knife right here, where I can come in, I can lift up this root, and now I got another comfrey plant right here. These things are so resilient, I can take these down to probably 1 inch to 2 inch each root zone, get a couple of inches, and each one of those root zones will turn into another plant as well. Pot that up, or just throw it straight in the ground, and boom, it's gonna come up. So these propagate by the roots quite easily. So don't plant these in places you're gonna till. If you're gonna use a tiller, and you hit one of these and you throw these roots everywhere into pieces, you're gonna have comfrey everywhere. Unless that's your plan. That might not be a bad idea if you're looking to put a whole field of comfrey and just have a whole field of fertilizer that you can take from. So let's keep chopping and get us a few more roots for the Chinampa area, for the Walla Walla area. This is a really small plant, an immature plant, but we can see how its root system starts to work. It's a very narrow, almost like a carrot, and it goes really, 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 really deep. It'll have this hair root at the end. In some cases, I've heard of it going down as far as 30 feet. Picking up all kinds of trace minerals. And if you wanted, you could actually sell these too. Or give them away to people that need them. As you can tell, they produce pretty quickly. I bought, let's see, how many did I buy at the beginning? I think I bought 12 at the beginning. Yes. I put 4 between each coconut mounds, 4, 8, 12. And they have multiplied into probably 50, maybe 60 in 2 years. It's starting to get to the point where I don't want them to keep multiplying, so I'm gonna start pulling some of them out and putting them elsewhere. Do your own research on this. Some people do eat comfrey. Some people say it's very poisonous. Do your research. Don't eat comfrey because Hop Farm said you can eat it. All right, everyone. Running low on time. I only dedicated about 30-45 minutes to get in here and do what I could do in that time. Just give you a little look. See? As you can tell, it looks a little more opened up in there. What we did is we cut down all the comfrey that was popping up and we put it around all the fruiting trees. Just the fruiting trees right now. Didn't have quite enough to put around the autumn olives and the mimosas, which is okay. So we mulched all the fruiting trees, the fig trees, the pear trees, the apple trees, the peach trees, the cherry trees, what else do we do? Oh, a goji berry that's in there. So we mulched all that. And we also have a nice 5-gallon bucket full of comfrey that we are going to be making comfrey tea with this. And then, are we on it? Oh, you looking at it? All right, yeah, we're looking at it. Our score for the day, all these comfrey roots. Now we're gonna be planting these tomorrow in the Chinampa area. So we've got enough here for at least, I would say 40 more plants. If we can break these roots down. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to break them into chunks. 6, 7, 8. Yeah, I'm close to 40, 30 to 40 plants out of those roots that I pulled up. Now if you needed to store these for a little bit and you're not planting them right away, which I plan on planting them right away, but I'm going to store them just in case I can't get to them. You know, stuff always happens on the farm where you need to attend to right now, and then some other things get pushed to the side. And this would be one of those things that gets pushed to the side if something happens tomorrow. So, let me show you how I'm going to store these real quick. We've got a few pots. You could take any type of soil, throw it in there. native soil, bag soil, whatever. I got a little peat moss here. I'm gonna throw some peat moss in the bottom of these. Throw these in here. Cover them up. Water them down a little bit. And they'll be good to go. Oh, you could sit them in there for 6 months probably. They'd start growing. End up with one big plant. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this video, make sure you give it a thumbs up, subscribe, and share this with a friend. Bonus clip. Another great use for comfrey. Feed it to your animals. They're good girls. Someone doesn't want to miss out. Eat your greens.